Thank you. Hi, everybody. I know it seems that I'm the last one, so I try to be quick but concise. Now I'm going to present my recently Nature published paper which investigates about the relation between IQ and BMI in preschool children. And I try to go to all part of the paper. By now, probably most of you heard a lot about the dire consequences of the obesity, especially in the children, and I hope that in the next few days we will hear more. We have two main concerns about obesity. First, specifically in children, first is the physical effect, which is hypertension, high blood sugar, extra stress on joints, liver disease, and asthma. But our main concern was psychological effect of the obesity in children, which well studied as a lowering self-esteem, affecting relationship with peers, and social problems. But with our knowledge, there is no study who investigate the relation between IQ and BMI in children. So we decided to conduct a very large cross-sectional community-based study at the national level between 2009 and 2013. And we first, because we really concerned about to maximize our external validity of this paper, we first divided the country to 13 strata, and after that, from each strata, we use multi-stage random clustering sampling, and we technically choose 74 schools, and from each schools we randomly select so many children, which our final sample was 1,352, which we finally exclude 201 children because we just want to focus on the children which have no other things that could impact our model. So we technically exclude all the children with these comorbidity, disease, or conditions such as obesity as a secondary to genetic disorders, or living with single parents or identical twins, children under special diets or history of autism, or children who have been examined for the IQ in the last 6 months. And after that, we gather all age, sex, gender, history of any previous education, household size, area of residence, age and education level of their parents, type of childbirth, type of infant feeding, and minimum household income, height and weight, and finally we calculate BMI from all these children. And for the BMI, we use CDC cutoff points, and after that, we conducted Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, the last edition in the full scales, and gather all this information and put it in the models. A total of 1,151 children participate in this study, which are the same in the type of gender, and the mean IQ was 99.46, which is good and related to the things that we expected. And the main things that the result of this study, which if you can see the first table, the first important things that we see that is the very high rate of cesarean rates in the children, which you can see nearly 52% of all children was born due to cesarean section and not NVD, which is catastrophic. And the second thing is about infant feeding, which 43.8% of all children are using formula instead of breastfeeding, which is also catastrophic. And finally, in the BMI range, we find that 14.7% of children are underweight, 5.7% are obese, and 60.2% are overweight, which is not good at all. Then we put all these things in our models and see technically there is no difference in IQ based on gender and race, but significantly all other variables have a great impact on IQ in children. So technically we could say children have living in wealthier families, living in a metropolitan and urban areas, have a positive history of education and family, born through cesarean section, breastfeeded, with higher father and mother education are smarter. And if you can attention to the mother education, it's really interesting because the difference between the IQ in the children with mother with low education and with mother of the high education is about 80 scores, which is really high and significant. After that, we put all these factors to our 4 different models and finally find out the most important things that could impact on the children's IQ is their parents' education, which include in this model the father's education. And after that, the place that the children lives, which we find out the children lives in the metropolitan areas and the urban areas are significantly smaller. And finally, the BMI, which is inversely related to the IQ. As you can see, if we hold all other variables constant, with 1 unit increase in the BMI, the IQ will decrease about minus 6 points. So in conclusion, we could say that a lower IQ is associated with abnormal BMI, especially higher BMI, and the higher IQ is associated with higher mother and father education, living in big cities, and children with cesarean section have breastfeeded, richer, smaller families, and that's it. Thank you. I tried to be so fast.